So now this is the first. Now it's the time for our first panel discussion, and the topic is innovation, entrepreneurship, and startup investment. I would like to request our panelists to please come on stage. Mr. Abhishek Chaudhary, who is going to moderate this panel. Our guest, Dr. Milind Pandey, Mr. Amit Kumar Srivastav, and Mr. Sachin Deshpande.
Mic is working well. Okay. So I think this is post 12. So konnichiwa once again. And let us get started with one of the interesting panels. Obviously, I'm moderating, so it has to be interesting. If it is not interesting, please don't make any comments. I'll feel bad. So, today's India is an aspiring India. If you see our vision, we wish to be global leaders. Now, to be global leaders, we definitely need innovation. We need startups. We need enterprises to be big with lots of investments. And in this panel discussion, we'll try to see how this journey moves, starting from academia, passing through an enterprise or startup, and then finally getting into the laps of large giants. So the constitution of today's panel. So I'm sorry, it's mine. I'm extremely sorry. Let me just put it on. So now, the constitution of today's panel is, I'll start with Milind Pandey, Professor Milind Pandey. I'll be introducing him in a minute. He will be representing academia. Because innovations, when you talk about innovation, R&D, everything actually starts from university level. If you go to all developed economies, Europe, US, Japan, Germany, any place, the hub of innovation is basically academic institutions. And now we can definitely see that that has started happening in India also. And to be an innovative country, to be one of the global leaders as far as technology is concerned, we definitely need academia to come forward and showcase the strength of Indian innovation. So we will be welcoming Professor Milind Pandey from the education or academic fraternity. Next, once you have, if you look at the journey of innovation, now it's started. Now it really requires somebody to handhold. And startups or small enterprises are basically the platforms which actually handholds the innovation and shows innovation to the light of the world. Now you have a startup, the innovation is migrated to the next level, you have some interesting products, you have seen the light of commercialization, okay, that's very good, but is that it? No. Then you need far bigger platform. And when you move to the far bigger platform, the next place is probably the exit. I mean, you get a lot of investments, how investors get it out of it. Everybody wants to make money. So they get an exit when it is acquired by large organization. And that's how this is really important, that large organizations comes here. So from representing the startup fraternity, we have Mr. Sachin Deshpande. Again, I'll be coming back to Sachinji's profile in a while. So Sachin Deshpande is a serial entrepreneur and he has incubated multiple organizations. So you will be representing startup and startup scenarios. And the third, the large organization in the complete value chain, that will be represented by Fujitsu Consulting. Fujitsu Consulting is a large consulting company. You all know we have a lot of flyers or standees here, and you might have already interacted with them. So you need such big muscle power, investor powers, to get to the next level. And that's how we will try and see where Fujitsu is looking at these days and what are their aspirations. So this will be the constitution of today's panel. Thank you. And now you can see that I have the printouts completed, so my speech is over. Now getting directly to the introduction. So I'll be first introducing Professor Milind Pandey. He has an illustrious career. I mean, the total number of pages I have seen in the CV that I was given to me was 9 pages. And then finally, okay, what to say? It's cut down into a small 1 paragraph of synopsis. So let me read it out for all of you. Dr. Milind Pandey, Pro Vice Chancellor, MIT World Peace University, Pune, India, is a dedicated professional with 28 years of academic experience. Well known as an effective communicator with strong relationship management skills. Authored a world-class textbook on mobile communications, next generation mobile communications, McGraw-Hill publication. He has conceptualized and established MIT TBI, Technology Business Incubator. Recipient of 3 Indian design patents, 2 international patents, developed more than 5 products in the area of mobile agriculture, mobile health, mobile education, and many more. Published 50 plus research papers in international conferences and journals. PhD supervisor at various universities and guided 20 plus PhD candidates, 15 plus foreign visits for university collaborations. And I believe next one is coming with Japan. And in fact, I was just chatting with him outside, and we figured out that both of us actually come from the domain of technology transfer. So we could catch up on a lot of interesting topics. Okay, so welcoming Professor Milind Pandey. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Now I have to go to my mobile phone, actually. Some profiles were printed, some are on the mobile phone. So, and it happens. I don't see it's a problem. So now we have our very interesting startup entrepreneur, Sachin Deshpande ji. Sachin Deshpande ji is an IIM Ahmedabad alumni. And if you see his accolades, he worked with Microsoft earlier and has a total overall experience of 27 years, which is really huge. He is co-founder of 2 organizations. One is Etten Aerospace and Automation Inc., which is area of UAV and automation system with a focus on priority sectors like agriculture, defense, mining, oil and gas, etc. The other company he has is Erfinden Technologies, which is working in the areas of AI, blockchain, Internet of Things, augmented reality, AR, VR, and all this. And you know, when we started chatting about getting a startup on board for this, we realized that he has something really interesting to share on his new startup, which will be unveiled very soon. So I'm not getting into it. So Deshpande ji, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
And now we have probably the youngest. Please don't mind, because I have heard that a lot of your Fujitsu colleagues are saying that he is our youngest tech guy. So now let me read out your profile. 2 pages. Okay. So it's a big profile, 2 pages. I won't be able to get into everything, but at least the most important part. So Amit Kumar Srivastava, he's Global Fujitsu Distinguished Engineer, System Architect, AI Technical Head. So you can see he is really extraordinary. Amit is part of One Asia Japan Delivery Unit and leads Fujitsu's India Artificial Intelligence Technical Unit. Formerly, he worked at the Center of Emerging Technologies, Fujitsu Consulting, India, and was one of the key figures in forming the first AI team for the Global Delivery Center. He is one of Fujitsu's top tier engineers with world-class technical capabilities and a track record of creating value in Fujitsu's growth technology areas, especially AI and its future business. He is one of the 32 global Fujitsu distinguished engineers, the only one from the 8 GDCs across domain and out of 5 in AI. So you can see his accolades. He is really extraordinary. So thank you, Amit-san, for being here and sparing your time. Okay, now the introduction is over, and I have probably taken a lot of time. 15 minutes. So without getting into further delay, let me start the panel. Let me shift it a little. I'll be able to see the speaker's face. Just very quick statistics, and some of my team members help me get this, who are here. For innovation, what are the biggest measurements of innovation? One of the biggest measurements of innovation is patents. If you go to any country, if it is innovative, there are a lot of indexes, and then patent index is also very important. And if you see, there is a big rise in the number of patents that India is filing. And the number of patents Japan is filing within India. So India is filing close to 60,000 patents every year. There are Indian patent filings, out of which close to 10%, so between 7 to 10% is coming from Japan. So Japan is actually considering India as a big market. So that is one statistics on the patent front, and it's increasing. If we look at some of the innovation rankings, India is moving ahead. Obviously, I mean, Japan is Japan is now 13 and India is 40. Still, there is a big gap. But we know that with a lot of our effort, we will be coming very close. Some other interesting facts, and you might be knowing it from the media, is that India is now probably the biggest, producing one of the biggest maximum number of unicorns, 100 plus. And various Indian cities, including Bangalore, Mumbai, are ranking in the top 10 across the globe. So, having this context, what I would like to know from Milind-san is that this concept of incubation, business incubator, this was probably missing for a decade back in India. But now, all the big educational institutes, they're filing lots of patents. They are coming up with interesting technologies. They're creating these incubators. So how was your journey of creating this incubators in MIT? And what do you see? Is it really translating to the next level of innovation? And what are the areas you are trying to focus with your business incubators?
Thank you. See, let me tell you, whenever we say university, the very own meaning of university is the universalization of the mind. And many students, since they are the graduating students, they don't understand what is the difference between incubation, innovation, and invention. Our first job to teach them what do you mean by incubation. And for that, let me quote our Honorable Prime Minister when he said IT plus IT is equal to IT. How he is saying 2 plus 2 is equal to 2, but when he clarified, he said innovative technologies plus Indian talent is equal to India tomorrow. If you would like to build the India tomorrow, the innovative technologies has to be imbibed into the mindset of the students. And that is what we took up that thread. How these innovative technologies, so we said how our MIT, WPN student should be. We said the first criteria defined is he have to have the innovation in head, compassion in heart, and passion in belly. So how he can focus to the bottom of the pyramid, how the social engagements happen. And that's why we came into the picture. We started MIT Technology Business Incubator, more than 52 startups, they graduated. Recently we launched a program called Accelerator. Earlier we were into the EdTech Accelerator, whatever the education technologies. Let me tell you, you ask how the technologies are dominating. There are 9 technologies, they are dominating the any startups in universities. These are technologies called ABCD, ARAI. What is ABCD? Is artificial intelligence, B blockchain, C cyber security or cloud, D is the data sciences and drone. And what is ARAI? The augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, extended reality, R robotics, A analytics, I is IoT. The future of the education and education of the future will be revolving around this augmented reality, virtual reality, that the way these technologies are dominating or maybe getting the integral part of the education. So, with the help of these technologies, how the social engagements happened, what the university, we did a major program called RIDE, R-I-D-E. The name itself, R for research, I for innovation, D for design, and E for entrepreneurship. Let me tell you, to start this startup journey in the university is very, very difficult. I will tell you, these are the 4 categories of students they are getting into the university or academic institutions. 4 type of students. Everywhere, you name any institution, they are C, D, E, F. What is C, D, F? C, the campus recruitment. Majority of the students, they are getting into the institution just for the return on investment, how much they are paying and how much offer they will be getting. D is degree bundling. Everybody would like to go for the higher education. E is entrepreneurship. Only 1% they are focusing on the startups and entrepreneurship. The challenge before us, how we can change the mindset of this. And F, freelancer. Whatever comes into the way, job to job, higher education to higher education. So our focus of the university is to challenge the mindset of this E category, which is still present is 1%. That's why this Atal Incubation Center, Atal Innovation Mission, Atal Tinkering Lab, and every higher educational institutions, they are the part of it. And these are the ways, sir, we are doing the hackathon in a big way. The hackathon is in the DNA of the university. We are challenging the mindset, the cross functionalities. Not only engineering. Hackathon means not only engineering, not only software, not only hardware. How the kitchen engineering come into the picture. What are the role for liberal arts, fine arts, economics, commerce? What are those innovative ideas will be coming, and this cross functionality, one engineering project, idea. So we are coming out with the idea hackathon, solution hackathon, workathon. So these are the various practices, and I'm very proud. Out of these 7,000 students at the university, the participants was 5,003 students in 4, 5, 6 teams, and many of students, they come out with the ideas, social engagements. We are also practicing one, and I will stop then. We are following the another concept of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He said, PURA, Pura, what is it? Providing urban opportunities to rural area. Whatever is the best in urban, how we can transfer it to the rural. We introduced the program called Rural Immersion Program, Village as a Lab. Each and every student in a group will be visiting the villages, staying there for 1 week, understanding their problems and giving the solutions. This is the way the university ecosystem for the startup is building up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think all of you can see the effort that MIT is taking, and probably many other education institutes is taking. And we will see a day where our universities are also, not only IITs, we really have IITs and good technology institutes, but regular universities will also start creating world-class innovative products. So now moving to the startup scenario and startup community, and we have Sachinji. So Sachinji, you have done this multiple startups, and you started with your UAV automation and all those things. So where do you see the opportunity areas for India and Japan to collaborate as far as startups are concerned?
So that one of the thing, like what Panditji has mentioned about, the first, I would say the seed happens at a university level, right? The area wherein we are actually, probably it's like a baton, we are taking it from there and we go into the next level, how you will convert this particular thing to a business. Ultimately, whatever we do, it has to be sustainable, and it has to actually impact the real customer or a consumer for which we are creating this solution. If a technology or a patent is been created but it is not been used, it's of no use, right? So where we are actually focusing on, one is which is into disruptive technologies, and we are also saying how that is going to have impact. So I'll give an example like, let's say drones or UAVs, which is a area wherein we are working on. We are working on area like precision agriculture. So you know, right, there are one of the very mission critical problems which are trying to solve is that in India there are a lot of death of the farmers due to pesticides which have been sprayed. The farmers get affected because of that. At the same time, there is also a problem wherein whatever we consume as a consumer, this particular pesticide gets injected into whatever we eat, and it has a problem of cancer and all those elements. So wherein we are talking about precision agriculture. So precision agriculture is nothing but you are actually trying to define a particular area wherein this pest is getting generated. Then what happens is that with the help of AI, right, you are actually trying to pinpoint at what particular part of the crop this is getting infected, right? So first is the mission time where it will go, it will take pictures, it will take videos, you will do AI, you will probably do insights and analytics, and then come up with an actual pinpoint area wherein we'll actually know that where is the problem, right? Then the next part is that you'll have a spraying drone which will go, and it will only go and spray at an area wherein it is required, right? So with this we are solving two problems. We are actually making sure that the health of the farmer is been assured. At the same time, we are also making sure that the consumers who are actually consuming that particular food or a crop, it is not getting into health problems, right? So that is the area. When it comes to one of the things which you asked about the partnership which we can probably foresee about India and Japan, one of the things we always have in our strategy is that if there are certain technologies or certain things which are already there, right, then it is better and best to do a technology transfer so that you will not waste that much of time, because time is very critical, right? So you actually have a partnership with probably a Japanese companies and try to get that technology as a technology transfer and then try to apply it, because our aim is ultimately to provide a solution to the consumer and a customer. He is vouching for that particular solution from you, and he don't have a time to wait for you to do an innovation and come up with something. Instead of that, it is best possible way wherein you acquire that particular technology, have a technology probably agreement with the Japanese company, and then try to implement that, right? So that kind of partnership works very well, right? For that we have a initiative called InnoHubs, wherein we are saying that we are creating these hubs in different parts of the world. And in different parts of the world, there are certain technologies have already been implemented. Like in Europe, there is smart city, or probably areas which are in renewable energy, which is wherein it's already been implemented, right? If it is already been implemented, there are a lot of learnings which are already there from those parts of the world, right? And then we can probably just take the probably technology from them and try to implement it, right? At the same time, we should also think about innovating it in our country as well. So one of the things we are trying to do is like, there is something called edge computing, right? So when I'm talking about edge computing, I'll give you the same example, like let's say in precision agriculture, wherein a drone is going and at the same time, it is also computing, right? So wherein the lag of time of making a mission of the drone which is going, then doing analysis, and then again the next time the next flight will go and do the thing. Instead of that, the particular analytics or AI would be done at a drone level itself, right, which is edge computing, wherein we are actually in a process of doing an innovation in chip design, right, wherein we can do this particular thing with edge computing, right? That is a area on which different technologies we are working on. Now, if you talked about Japan, wherein I see there is a lot of opportunity to work on. Japan as a country, when I visited, I understand that they are very good in areas like gaming, right? This is a country wherein this particular industry is very much mature, right? And now we are talking about metaverse, or let's say we are talking about AR, VR. What it is there, they are taking that to a next level, right? Earlier, it was being used for entertainment. Now we are thinking about that how we can use this for the other kind of domains, business domains, when this can be used very effectively, right? So we are talking about areas wherein, let's say, metaverse can be used, wherein the areas which we are not even thought about, right? Why we can able to do that? Our computing power has been increased day by day, right? So I'll give an example like, let's say, NVIDIA Omniverse is one of the platform which is there. What it does basically, you can do a simulation, you can do the real time actually exact what you call, see, because let's say you are working in certain areas. So let's say you're working in a chemical industry, which is a hazardous industry. You're working in oil and gas industry. You're working in mining industry. You're working in agriculture industry, right? So you cannot, probably a human being cannot go into those areas effectively. So instead of that, if you can create the same kind of environment in, let's say, the platforms like Omniverse, right, which is NVIDIA Omniverse, so wherein you can able to do that thing very quickly, and then it can be integrated with your hardware and software, and you can probably get the results what you want, right? So these are the different applications of the areas wherein it can be used, and that's where the partnership will come, right? If Japan is already advanced in certain areas, right, wherein we can work together. At the same time, India has a very, I would say, very rich, what you call talent, right, which is there. So how we can utilize this talent in the best possible way, that also we need to see, right? Because talent is there, but if that talent is not put to use in a right kind of problem statements to be used, or right kind of R&D to be used, then it's a waste of talent, right? Sure. So that is also has to be looked in.
So I think the three main keywords that I could pick up for the next level of collaboration between India and Japan as far as startup and new technology development is concerned looks like precision agriculture, edge computing, and metaverse. Yes. So, okay. Thank you. I'll interrupt you for now because I'm very much interested to see, is all these things that a startup is thinking, or even the manpower is that is getting created from the academia, how big company looks into it. So as far as new technology developments are concerned, I'd like to request Amit-san to share the vision of Fujitsu, how Fujitsu see the world, and where do they think that, which type of new technologies will be required for the world.
Thanks for inviting me first, and a lot of great people here, like a lot of great knowledge is sharing right now. So from my organization perspective, when I talk about Fujitsu, so Fujitsu thinks about sustainability. So I think we have academia here, we have people, I think from startup, right? So one thing I want to say that we are looking at sustainability, and if academia and if startups are basically focusing on sustainability through innovation, I think that's one thing definitely is very important for the world right now. And when you see sustainability development goal, that is 2030 set by United Nations, it also talks about SDGs, right? And then sustainability through innovation. So this is where we are focusing on. Now I'm coming to the technological part that we are focusing on right now. So when I talk about technology, I think we have discussed about AI, right? So I just want to add accelerated AI automation. So this is very important. So AI is, I think, very loosely used word these days, but this is how we are addressing machine learning or data science as AI, right? But when I talk about accelerated AI automation, what I am talking about, making all these AI process automated. So I think this is one thing industry is focusing on, and even Fujitsu is also focusing on. Probably you have heard about automated machine learning, right? AutoML, right? So it does the same thing for you. It tries to convert all the process through automation so that you will have less skill available on table as well, but you are going to convert that work into a productivity, right? So this is what we are trying to do. We have our own AutoML technology as well in Fujitsu. We are researching on it, and we have released one paper around this as well. So when I talk from this perspective, AutoML is something very important for Fujitsu, definitely from AI perspective. There are a lot of technology I will talk about once I proceed, but AutoML is something very interesting to see. Not from Fujitsu perspective, but overall, if you see, automated machine learning is very important right now. We talk about human skill crunch, right? Like skill, probably we are talking about, not talking about educational background, we are talking about skill. So let's say if you do not have skill on table, right? How you are going to turn that machine learning problem into solution? AutoML is one thing that helps you, right? So this is one thing I want to basically focus on accelerated AI automation. And we are also focusing on, so there are many aspects of automated machine learning, like causal relation, how to find causal relation. Generative AI is one thing that people are looking at when we talk from an automotive perspective, or maybe automation perspective as well. A lot of things are there lined up. I just keep it very short because I think I have to go on and on from here. So the second part is digital twin is very important, right? So I was expecting that academia will, maybe Dr. Professor will talk about the digital twin. But I hope that this is my suggestion to academia, that please focus on technology like digital twin. This is going to change the world that we are working here, right? So it will definitely provide you resilient systems to work, right? And then when we talk about sustainability, this is very important that we should focus on technology like digital twins. Cyberspace, we are talking about it. I think in India right now, we are very much focused on cybersecurity. If you see academia, they have introduced master's course and PhD course in cybersecurity as well. I think this is one important area definitely to focus. 5G, I think we all should be proud of 5G because it's indigenous as well. And now, once 5G comes into place, you need something called compute as well. AI is definitely there, but you need compute as well. So, as a Fujitsu, we have fastest supercomputer in the world, probably. Most of us are aware about this, Fugaku. And we also have something called quantum-inspired solution, that is digital annealer. And it's one of the world's fastest digital annealer right now that helps in combinatorial optimization problems. So we have solution around this as well. So 5G is definitely we are focusing on. 6G we have already started researching. AI is accelerated AI automation is one thing we are focusing on. Digital twin is definitely we have to focus, and we have some programs around digital twin as well. And not but least, but yeah, AR, VR is something we are talking about. Probably it will take some time, but definitely we do not have to forget about AR and VR in totality. And I think you talked about innovation as well. So Fujitsu has almost 1 lakh patents with Fujitsu. So just to add it here. And from India perspective, if we talk about like almost in last 4 years, we have 80,000 patents filed in the emerging technology area. And when you see AI side, it's around 6% of the total patents filed out of this emerging technology area. So I think in the innovation side also, India is growing, ranking is also growing, definitely, and this is a good sign for us. And then in partnership with Japan, we are also doing technology transfer that we say, and then they are very good in technology, and we are good in technology, I would say, definitely. And we are jointly working together. And just to add last point, when we talk about innovation, we talk about research labs as well, right? Yes. Currently, Fujitsu has opened its first research lab in India, in Bangalore and in Hyderabad, and they are operational. So we are also trying to do research around AI and quantum computing on those front as well. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Now I think all of you can see that where the world is going and what a large company is thinking. So I think there is a lot of food for thought for definitely academia as well as startup, that where the next level is going and where they have to migrate. And accelerated machine learning, automation technology, digital twin, cyberspace, 6G. So these are the basically areas Fujitsu, if Fujitsu is looking into it, all the big companies definitely looking into it. So that's where we need to start shifting our mindset also. Now, another interesting thing you mentioned is, the number of patents and 80,000 patents coming from India. So a few years back, I did a study and tried to understand, it was for US company. A lot of US companies have their R&D centers in India. So now, whether it's migrating, that okay, Indian R&D centers are producing those patents, whether those producing those patents which they are filing in US or not. And to my surprise, there were companies where close to 25 to 30% of their global patent filing was coming from India, from Indian R&Ds. So here also, if you see, 80%, 80,000 out of 100,000 patents, 80,000 is coming from India. It's actually huge. It's a huge number. Okay, so one more quick question, and then we will open the floor for questions. So, Milind sir, one quick round will be on, what will be your take when we heard now Amit san? Where do you think the university incubation or university overall ecosystem is right now? Not only for MIT, overall academia, and for migrating to the next level where Amit san was mentioning, to travel to that particular distance, what do you think we need to do more, or universities or academia need to do more?
You would like to say about the patents?
No, on the technology shift.
Technology.
From regular AI, AR, VR and all to getting into the metaverse or to the next level.
Yeah. Basically, the takeaway from the universities, as you rightly said, digital twin, campus on cloud, blended learning already started happening. Already we have the center of excellence on the campus, more than 25 R&D labs on the campus. That includes Tata Technologies, Amdocs, NVIDIA, and the list goes continue. Even the power and gas, Acker, and so many companies, they came, they set up their center of excellence on the campus. The faculties and students combined together, only in last 2 years, we published more than 500 patents. That is a big number because of the corona and because of this, the ecosystem that time. The many faculties along with the students with the hackathon and this very unique concept called RITE. But let me tell you, we are majorly focusing, there is a concept called STEP, S-T-E-P. What is STEP? The S, so all these innovations and startups should move around this. What we need, the social engagements. T is the technology. So we want all our startups, the entire focus from the students, because every day we are hearing the news, technology forced unemployment. Amazon started using the bots. They are removing. How we can challenge this? E, and that is very important, is the economic model, the sustainable economic model. And P is the public policy. So this imbibing all these aspects into the mindset of the students so that they can hit the bottom of the pyramid. The sustainable innovation, which you rightly said, how it can come into the picture. And I'm very happy that the students, they are progressing. The moment I said the innovative technologies and Indian talent, university is doing the great job in setting up the startup ecosystem. We calling it as the startup nursery. We always into the stage of nursery. We want all our final year students, third year students, they should take admission to the startup nursery and give the various thoughts. And the most important, we are celebrating the failure of that startups, and which is very, very important at the university level. How they can sustain the failures, and that is what we are teaching to them.
Thank you very much. And I think this is really important that we celebrate the failure, because then only the journey is much more important than actual success. So Sachin ji and Amit ji, I think what we will do, we will open a couple of questions for both of you from the audience side, because we are already a little bit time crunch.
I'll
Yes.
just add one
Yes,
more thing,
please.
which is very important. So one of the things which is very important from India point of view is micro entrepreneurship, right? I forgot to mention that, and it was very important. And this is an area wherein probably JICA or government organization, I was saying your presentation, ma'am, like wherein you mentioned about that is the areas wherein we are working on. So one of the areas wherein we are working on very closely, we have this particular program which is designed, which is micro-entrepreneurship. So what is happening in India, if you see, like agriculture is one of the major source of income, and as well as the area wherein India is well ahead, right? But what is happening, the rural youth, right? They are migrating from their roots and they are coming to urban areas, right? And wherein the real areas wherein we can give them a livelihood in their own what you call villages, and they can do that, then it's the best possible way wherein we can support India as such, or Bharat as such, right? So this is one area wherein we are working very strongly, and this is again areas, when I'll mention areas like drones, for that matter, we are creating a micro-entrepreneurship program wherein we are training, planning to train them, and also they are going to be an entrepreneur. They are not going to be trained for job. They are going to be trained for an entrepreneur. So what they have to do as part of the program, they are going to be being taught entrepreneurship in their program, right? All they have to do is that they have to go back to their roots or a rural area, and then they will probably start a business over there, right? So this is one area wherein we are working jointly, and probably we are happy if probably JICA or the organizations can support us in this. This is very area wherein it can change, because what is happening is that there are a lot of what you call knowledge which is there from earlier generation in agriculture, right? That is getting lost if we have a gap wherein the rural youth is not taking that as a profession, and they are probably taking a very petty jobs in the urban areas, and that is getting lost, because it's very important from the food security point of view. This is one area I just wanted to mention.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a really nice area. I think it could have been a more than 1 hour panel. We had a lot of interesting discussions. But as we are exactly 12:45, I'd request only 1 or 2 questions from the audience. I can see 2 hands, so only 2 questions. So rest we will take later. Only 2 first hands. One is you and the other is Jaiswalji. And please be very precise with the question. We are not interested in your long speech.
Sure. So my name is Anand Morikar. Firstly, thank you so much. So I wanted to ask 2 things. So if I want to file a patent, what is the cycle? You know, in how many days I can get that patent?
For patent?
Yes.
Lot of many lawyers are here. You can probably talk to them, and they will be able to better guide you with that.
Okay. And I have second request. So we have a farm in Balaghat district, which is 200 kilometers from Nagpur, and we want to make it as a case study. So if anyone wants to use that.
So there is basically no question. Okay. Thank you. One opportunity lost. Jaiswalji, please.
Good afternoon. This is Sudhir Jaiswal. Thank you very much for this insightful discussion. Dr. Pandey, Mr. Amit, Mr. Sachin, Abhishek. Of course, it requires a longer session, but I have a specific question here. Startups or industry and academia are two pillars, we call it, for innovation, or even to say call employment as well. As you know, Indian youth many times called, we have qualified engineers, but they're not employable, all right? So my question is specific here, and also in the context of India and Japan. What kind of academia and industry interoperability or interaction you think can be done in a structural way? Any insight on that?
So I'll just tell you about this. So one of the things which we are doing, we are calling that as global talents. And to solve this particular problem, what we are doing is that instead of, see what happens in academia is that they have a set kind of a curriculum, right, which is there, which has been probably they have to abide by the university. It is changing now, but at the same time, there is a gap, right, what industry wants and what is being taught in the academia, right. So what we are doing is that we are going to the industry, right? We are going to the industry and we are appealing to the industry and asking them what they want, right? So that is the first level we do. Once we have that, we map that as to the skill level. So to have this, what kind of skills level to be needs to be acquired. Now this not only applies for junior level, this also applies to middle management as well as senior management level. I'll give an example, right? So now let's say we talked a lot about, let's say, junior level. In the middle management level, there are a lot of technologies which are actually going to, we have talked about AI, which is going to take out the jobs and all, right? So wherein they have to, a lot of time they have to unlearn what they already learned, right? And they have to relearn, right? This is very important, which is there from a middle management point of view, right? As we speak, like there are a lot of jobs are getting cut and all that for a lot of reasons, right? So this is a very important thing which is there. Now from a top management point of view, when we are talking about board of directors or decision makers, let's say CXO levels, they need to be aware is that what kind of disruptive technologies are disruptive technologies in one end, business model and revenue models, right? Which are actually going to disrupt them. So they don't want it to be a next Nokia, right? They don't want it to be next BlackBerry. So these are the areas which is required, and then it should be put.
Thank you.
Right?
Just in addition to this, what practices we are following in academia? So first of all, this university, they have given 1 lakh rupees to each faculty, saying that you come out with some ideas along with the students. For that, we tied up with the universities abroad. One is the University of Tokyo. I remember Mr. Atre and Mr. Siddharth Deshmukh. Myself, we had been to the many universities in Japan with the help of IJBC. So tie up with the research collaboration, say smart city, we are working together in developing the sliding and so many things. I don't want to get into it, how we can reduce the accidents on the Bombay-Pune highway, and so many projects we done in past. But 30% of the syllabus, current syllabus, has to be taught by the foreign faculties. That is what, just to get that flavor, that research-based pedagogy thinking that we are practicing for last 2 years. These are the real-time case studies which we are already doing.
Thank you so much.
One last comment.
Yeah, just one point I want to make. So as a Fujitsu, we are already in collaboration with a lot of universities across the world, top-tier universities. Our members are also going to universities and teaching about the latest work that we are doing. And similarly, we are asking or requesting universities fellows to come to organization and talk about their innovation as well. We have a lot of programs going on. Probably you can check Fujitsu website. I think that would be the best place to understand. We are doing a lot of activity around it. We are working in the medical field, manufacturing field, and a lot of other areas. Like we are also trying to solve some of the cancer genomics problem. And we are in partnership with a lot of top universities around this. On the data side also, we have partnered with MIT in USA as well. University of Tokyo is one thing. On the quantum side, we are in collaboration with 1Qubit. Same goes for academia side as well. We have our professors, means our Fujitsu distinguished engineers or fellows are visiting universities, and they are teaching about the latest work or the innovation that we are doing. And we are also having joint kind of workshop together with universities. And recently, I think one of our distinguished engineers is visiting MIT to speak there on some of the topic related to AI. So I think we are doing a lot into this field as a Fujitsu. And I believe this should be encouraged more, not only in big enterprises, but even for startups. And probably academia in India should even focus more into this, because as I think he talked about calling professors from outside and then delivering lectures, right? I think one suggestion would be, please try to reach a big organization where you have people working on those kind of problems in practical. I think those people will be more than I would not say better than professor, for an example, but definitely they are going to provide you practical aspect of the actual thing. Yeah, real-time insight. And how you can create resilient systems, not just on paper creating an architecture, right? So I think that should be the better approach to do so. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So thank you all our panelists. I think it was really nice, a lot of interesting insights. So now I request...
Just Abhishek, just one second.
Yes.
Just for everybody's knowledge, taking a cue from here, in IJBC we have formed a separate council called Higher Education Research Council. One of the primary idea is to bridge the gap we're talking about and promote this concept, students and industry coming together. Thank you so much.
And Sudhir Jaiswalji is actually heading that. So any query related to this, you can actually direct to Sudhirji. So now I would like to request Prashant to please dais and felicitate our guests. Amit ji. Sachin ji. And Milind ji. So once again, thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Over to Shefali.